me chew kale quietly. Hi, I'm Julia Turshen. I am a cookbook author. I am the founder of Equity at the Table, and welcome to Cook With Us with Well+Good. Today, I'm gonna make one of my favorite salads. I call it a copper penny salad because we're gonna use rounds of carrots, which look like copper pennies. And I'm gonna combine it with kale and almonds and feta cheese just to add lots of like substantial texture and flavor. And it is so good for like lunch. You can add, if you want, I don't know, some roasted chicken or grilled fish or something like that. It's a great side dish. It's a great component of like a grain bowl, that kind of thing. So it's like a really forgiving salad. It has great flavor, and I'm really excited to show you how to make it. So I'm gonna start by peeling a bunch of carrots. I just like to leave them flat on the board, peel away. Clear up my little space. I'm gonna just cut off the like rough kind of root ends. And then all of this can go into your compost, it can go into your trash, your garbage disposal. It can also go into a container or a plastic bag that you just keep in your freezer and fill with other vegetable scraps. And when it's all full, you can just add it to a pot of water and simmer it for a few hours. And you'll have wonderful vegetable stock. You get all this flavor out of something you would normally throw out. So I'm gonna collect it all and put it in my freezer stash. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's where we get into the copper penny part, which means just cutting a carrot into thin rounds. I'm gonna do it just with my knife. I think that's what most people use. So to slice them really thinly, just where you peeled it, it's gonna leave like a little flat edge. So try to find that so you have like a really stable surface. And then always just tuck your fingers in on the part that's gripping. So I'm right-handed, so that's with my left hand. And my right hand, I'm just grabbing the knife like this. There's a few different ways to do this. Again, whatever way feels comfortable and safe to you. Maybe don't swing this knife in front of you like I am. And then I'm just gonna slice away. So yeah, these don't have to be paper thin. Just like a penny, like a copper penny, so. Okay. So I have my carrot coins. They're waiting for me. I'm just gonna put them over to the side of my board. Before I tear up my kale, I'm gonna make a little mixture in the bottom of the bowl that I'm gonna put the kale and carrots into, and we're gonna kind of massage it into the kale. I wish I was getting a massage, but I'll give the kale a massage. Doing that helps to kind of break down the kale, because eating it raw, when it's just like this, I find that not to be super pleasant, but if you kind of break it down with some lemon and salt, it gets softer. It's a lot more, kind of like easier to eat, and I think a lot more appealing. So I'm gonna make that mixture first, and it starts with some lemon juice. I'm gonna get my favorite little lemon squeezer. So I'm just gonna squeeze this lemon. Okay, yeah, a few tablespoons of lemon juice straight into your bowl. Oops, if a seed goes in, you can just pull it out, no problem. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit of honey. So about a tablespoon. So more lemon than honey. You want it to be really like bright and acidic. But that little bit of honey will just soften kind of the edges of that, make it a little bit sweet. If you don't have or like honey, you can use a little maple syrup. You could use a pinch of brown sugar, whatever you like just to sweeten it. I just put a big pinch of salt. I'm actually gonna put a little bit more. And I'm just gonna whisk. Whisk that together. That honey and lemon smells so good. It kind of makes me wanna pour like a little bit of whiskey into the bowl and pour it over ice with like a little seltzer. That's a delicious cocktail. But we'll start with the salad. So for the kale, I'm just gonna take off its little band. So I'm just gonna strip the leaves from the stem. And to do that, I just take my two fingers and I just pull. And then I'm just gonna tear the leaves into bite-sized pieces. You could strip all the stems and then just chop the leaves if you want. But I like doing this. I feel like it's easy, and it makes it kind of like a bunch of not the same pieces, like sort of imperfectly perfect, I kind of think, like a little bit more rustic and easygoing. So I'm just gonna do that with this entire bunch. I'm gonna scoop up my sliced carrots, all those little carrot pennies. And then remember, we have that lemon and honey at the bottom of the bowl with that salt. The salt is both seasoning and it's also like an abrasive. It'll help you break down the kale. So my hands are super clean. I washed them before this, and I'm just gonna get in there and kind of massage it all together, work it all together. And you'll see this is now taking up all this room. Easier if you use a larger bowl. I definitely recommend that. But as I work this, it's gonna break down. It won't take up quite as much room in the salad bowl. If things spill out, just add them back. Okay, so the next step, you'll notice that dressing I did at the beginning, the lemon and honey, I didn't add any oil or fat to it. We're going to now. I'm gonna, instead of just putting straight olive oil on the kale and carrots, I'm gonna pour a little olive oil just into a skillet. It's about 1/4 cup. And then I'm gonna chop up, these are just raw almonds. So I'm gonna chop them up a little, just so they're not huge pieces. And then I'm gonna toast them in the oil in the skillet. I wish that there was like some great secret way to chop up nuts without having them go everywhere, but there kind of isn't. So just go for it. And yeah. I think we're good. So I'm gonna turn this on, kind of medium high, and I am gonna put all these in here. I'm just gonna use my knife to help me scoop them up. The almonds are sizzling. I'm just kind of swirling them. The difference between a toasted almond and a burnt almond, it's a very fine line. So this is something you wanna really be at your stove. Don't walk away, don't get on the phone, don't start scrolling social media right now. This is like really a time to like pay attention. And I'm gonna turn off my stove because I'm starting to see on the sort of white parts, the inside of the almonds, they're starting to turn brown. So I'm immediately gonna pour it right onto my kale. You see, I leaned back a little when I did that. That hot oil, when it hits the kale, it sizzles a little bit. So that's what you heard. And now, because that is super hot, it just came out of the skillet, instead of my hands, I'm gonna use 2 wooden spoons. Since I love feta cheese, I'm gonna skip extra salt, just add this. So this is, you know, like a big handful of feta. I'm gonna leave a little bit to sprinkle on top, so I'm just gonna mix this in. I really hate when you have a salad that has different things on it and they're all just piled on top. I love to mix it in, have it evenly distributed. So when you have a scoop from the bottom of the bowl, it still has all the fun stuff in it. It's not just pure kale. So, all mixed up, a little extra feta on top. And that's it. It's like, it's such a great salad. It's one of my favorites. It's good year round. I feel like all these ingredients are available all year. And yeah, really colorful, really delicious. This is so good. It tastes like bright lemon, super fresh, and also just like really, really nutty. That combination of the almond kind of oil and the lemon is so wonderful. You get the crunchy almonds, the kind of slightly creamy, salty feta. It's one of my favorite salads. The entire recipe is in the description below. I hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe to Well+Good.